So gratitude, this is something we hear come up a lot in yoga. It means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. It might be a pleasant word, it might be kind of a formal word, or it might have any other context depending on who you are and where you're from. So for me, I'll offer that gratitude is kind of this idea of appreciation or gladness, thankfulness. If you're thankful for behavior from someone, maybe something like that. And what I really enjoy about gratitude and practicing gratitude is I find that it really sort of tames my inner voice, my kind of constant chatter that might contribute to that sort of anxious feeling in my nervous system. So we can kind of trick our inner monitor, if you will, that inner voice, and give it a problem to solve. As human beings, we are highly evolved problem solvers. We have lots of areas of our brain that are part of our nervous system and neural network, and always looking for problems to solve to make sure that we're safe. And it's a great survival mechanism. But when there is not a bear chasing us, when there is no problem to solve, sometimes that piece of who we are, of protecting ourselves, can really be busy and kind of lead to anxiety when we sort of get stuck on an idea or really just keep looking for something to solve. So when we look for things that we're grateful for or glad about or thankful to another person or being for, um, that is sort of a way of giving that problem solver something to do, kind of looking like, what problem can I solve? What things am I grateful for, even in a challenging situation? Of course, this is easier sometimes than others. I'm not saying that we never have negative thoughts. Of course, these are natural, especially in challenging times. But when we practice this, when all is peaceful and well, and sort of give that inner monitor, that inner voice, a positive habit of looking for the good, if you will, it can be a tool or a toy to bring out in those more challenging times. So I'll offer that. Also, I tend to like to share a mudra or a yoga pose for your hands, a gesture to represent a specific idea. So for this week, I'll offer what is called Hansi Mudra. That's Hansi. And you take Hansi Mudra with one or both hands, just so. Bring your palms face forward, out in front of you, away from you. And just gather your fingertips softly together so that all of your finger pads connect with your thumb pads in one focal point. And from here, just slightly lift your pinky finger, just extend your pinky finger on the outside, any amount. It might be a little tiny lift. It might be a much more dramatic extension. See, I kind of forgot about my left hand. That's kind of funny. Yeah, if you're doing this with both hands, it looks like this. And I enjoy using both hands because it kind of creates this image almost of a smile. And that is sort of the meaning attached with this particular gesture. It's this idea of an inner smile. I like to take this too because it's sort of subtle. One example where I sort of struggle to be calm sometimes is when traveling, like on an airplane, when there's just lots of stimulus around, lots of people moving around, lots to pay attention to. My problem solver gets very busy. And sometimes I end up just kind of making stink face, while that's happening in my brain. But when I can remember to think happy thoughts and this idea of inner smile or inner gladness, I might do this with one hand on my knee or maybe both, and it's pretty subtle with a very slight lift of the pinky and might not look very odd to anybody around me, so I don't have to feel nervous about that. But I find that when I think about this idea of an inner smile, it sort of has a contagious effect for my face. It sort of spreads outward, and I find I'm able to sit a little more pleasantly. Do with that what you will. It might be a way to practice gratitude when I